Moving further to the next part of the chapter, that's part 3 of movement in animals. In this part, we are going to talk about the animals with backbone. How do they carry out movement? So, the first organism which we have already seen, they have been classified. The first organism which we are going to see is the fish. So, in fishes, you all know that they have certain body organs which help them to carry out the movement. So, the first is the body, the streamlined body. It helps them to swim easily in the water, and even they have fins which also help them in movement. They have strong muscles which are attached to the backbone and a tail which helps them to change the direction, and they can move very actively in water. So the tail, fin, they acts like a propeller. Okay, they acts like a propeller to move further and even to change direction when they are moving in the water. So this is how the movement is being carried out by the fishes. Then the next organism is the frog. Now we all know that frog is an amphibian. It lives both on land surface and even inside the water. It has two pair of limbs. Now limbs are the legs, upper limb and the lower limb. Upper limb are the one which are present on the upper side of it, and the lower limbs are present on the back side. So they have in all two pairs of limbs which are present and which helps them to move and jump around here and there. Okay, they can leap, they can catch their prey. So this is how when they are catching their prey, they'll just move with the help of the lower limb. Their lower limb will keep it on the plane surface, and they'll leap around to catch their prey. So this is how the movement is being carried out. In the diagram, you can see how do they take off and jump when they are being moving from one place to another. Okay, so the next organism is snakes. So snakes, they also have limbs. They do not have limbs. Snakes do not have limbs. They just use the muscles which are attached to their long flexible backbone. The lower part of their body has a flexible backbone which helps them to slither around. Okay, it slithers means it pushes itself, it carries out a wavy movement to move further, to propel themselves forward. And this is how they also have a grip on the ground, and due to the scales present at several points, they keep pulling themselves forward. So this is how the movement in snakes is being carried out. The scales also help them in movement. So snakes normally move by making loops. You all have seen that they form a loop and then they move further. Again they come straight. Again they form a loop, and this is how they keep on moving further. Then the next organism we'll see is the birds. Now you might have seen birds, they can move anywhere. They even have legs and have wings for carrying out movement. So birds have a pair of legs and a pair of wings. A pair means two legs and two wings. When birds are on the ground, they walk or hop around. Yes, with the help of the legs that they are present. Legs, or we can call them as hind limbs. Hind limbs means which are present at the back side of their body. And when they fly, they use their wings for that. The wings are the modified bony pairs of the forelimbs. Forelimbs means the front limbs which they are, that is being modified into wings. So they use these wings for flying here and there. They have well developed muscles and bones, and however the bones are very hollow. Why? Because they should be lightweight. When they are flying in the sky, they need to be lightweight, and for that the bones are hollow. They do not have any thing filled into it so that the bones will become heavy. Yes, the muscles and the bones are attached to their wings which help them to fly. So this is how the lifting of their body is being done with the help of the hind limbs that they have. The hind limbs help them to lift the body up, and then they start flying. Now you here in the picture you can see that they do not directly start flying up. There are stages, there are steps by which they keep flying. So the first thing is they just flap their wings when they have to fly up. Then the first picture shows you that they have just opened the wings up, and the wings are been moving downwards and forwards. They are lifting their body in the air. So that such kind of movement is known as downstroke. From figure 1 to 3 you can see that it has been lifting it up and down, up and down. So this is its holding, and downward and forward movement is being done, which is known as downstroke. And then from figure 4 to 7 the wings are being lifted upwards in preparation for another downstroke. So such kind of movement is known as upstroke. So when a bird is being moving, it carries the move. When it covers its wing, its body with the wings, that's known as downstroke. When it lifts its wings upwards, it's known as upstroke. So this is how movement of the wings up and down, this helps them to move further and to fly in the sky. So this was all about the different organisms which we found around us, may it be a vertebrate or an invertebrate. Now we will move on to the human skeletal system, which is again, it comes under the same heading, that is known as vertebrates. Human is also a vertebrate. We have a proper skeletal system in which we have different pairs of bones that carries out different functions. So until now, so far we have seen locomotion in various animals. Now we will move on to the human structure or human skeletal system. Now you all know that movement in our body is also very necessary, and all body movement involves bones and muscles. You all have bones and muscles. We all have bones and muscles inside our body, which helps us in movement of different body organs. Yes, the human movement system consists of skeleton and muscles. The skeleton consists of bones. It is a structure made up of bones. Bones are the ones which helps passive movement of, passive means some certain kind of movement is being done. Whole movement cannot be done based only on bones. For movement, bones and muscles need to be collaborated, and they should work together. Then only movement can occur fully, we can say. So partially bones help us to do it, but it needs the help of muscle for carrying out the whole movement of our body. So without the help of muscles, we cannot move. The muscles are the ones which carries out the active movement of the different organisms, and because of which we can move the bones of our body. Now what is the function of skeleton? Yes, we have skeleton, it's fine. So there are certain functions. Why do we need to have skeletal system? So the first thing is that it gives the shape to our body. If we didn't had skeleton and we only had skin on it, will the skin stand erect, or will we have shape to our body? No, it is like a lamination being given. The skin is like a lamination being given to the bone. Okay, so bone gives us a particular shape, a typical shape to our body. It supports the body, it allows the body to move, as we have already seen. It protects the major organs. Now there are some delicate organs or internal organs which are present, so these bones help them to protect. Like we have heart, lungs, stomach, all these are protected inside the skeletal system. It produces red and white blood cells. So this is a very major thing that's being done by the bone, that is the RBCs and WBCs, the blood cells which are present inside our body, that is being produced in the bone. So this is the function. I think most of you might not have an idea about it. Okay, so you all know that human skeleton, it consists of 206 bones, and we have even seen that a younger kid has more number of bones, but as they grow up, these bones get fused up and the number finally comes to 206 bones. So the parts of skeleton we'll see in our further slide or the further coming part of the chapter.